Hi there, it's Sam from poodles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one. It's a card, and I don't do cards very often, but I wanted to show you how I made this sort of misty sort of scene that just seemed to work so well with Just Breathe. And it's the sentiment is from Colourful Seasons. Beautiful, beautiful, adorable set that covers literally all seasons. So we've got spring, summer, autumn, winter with no problem. And then these wonderful phrases. Life is a beautiful thing. Just breathe. May all your tomorrows be as happy as today, and you make me smile thinking of you. Congratulations. There is a die set that goes with it. So I might do a little bit of die cutting depending on time, probably will. But actually the wording is bigger than it shows on the outside. So, you know, I thought, let's go with that. So the first one I did Just Breathe. This time I'm going to go with Life is a Beautiful Thing. So, okay, let me grab a block. Oh, let's just throw everything around. So Life is a Beautiful Thing. I've got my embossing buddy over there. Now on my first one you can see that the ink has, I'm hoping you can see it, the ink has gone over the embossed detail a little bit, so I'm going to double emboss this. I need a piece of paper actually. So I'm going to do a double embossing technique. So Life is a Beautiful Thing. I've got white, I used clear on the first one, I'm going with white this time around. So the way to double emboss, if you have never done it before, is that you get everything out of the way, you heat emboss, and then you very quickly, while the embossing powder is still slightly wet, you throw a load of more embossing powder on top, so you're getting a double layer of it. So if you've got your volume up, turn it down, and I'm angling it. There is a little bit of air blowing, but I don't want to send it straight into my pot. So what I'm doing is I'm heating this up so I can get it liquid. I'm hoping that this will stop that weird sort of bleed. So dead quick, on there again. And that's a double layer gone on there. So put this lot away because I do not want to send an entire pot of white embossing powder everywhere. That would be messy. Okay, so we'll heat that up again. There we go. So it's all a bit of a slightly longer process than normal, but I need that to dry down a second before I start wetting it up. So I'm just going to clear myself some space, clean up my ink pad, no, my stamp even. And the colours, these new ink colours are absolutely beautiful. So we've got Fresh Fig, which is luscious. Oh, that's okay. Berry Burst. And Powder Pink. Here's the Powder Pink. So pretty. Right, so this is watercolour paper, so it needs to be wetted a little bit. So I'm just going to take this off my desk, but I've got a spritzer here. So only because I don't want to soak my desk. And I've also got some tissues on hand in case I get a bleed here. So, right, let's come in with the pale colour first. So I've got my aqua painter. And I'm going to wash across there. And I'm going to quickly dab across those letters. Okay. Berry Burst, we'll have a wash of that across there. And we'll take that up there a bit as well. And it's collecting again, so I'm just using the edge of my tissue to pick it up off those letters where I can see that it's bleeding onto it. And then into this beautiful fresh fig. And the paper is bowing, and that is okay by me, because I want the drips, I want the wibbles, I want all sorts. I'm going to streak across there a little bit, try and get it off those letters. I want the colour on the paper, not on my lettering. Where else shall I go? I'll have a bit through there. So you can see it's colouring up that letter. But if I'm quick enough, hopefully I won't have issue. Oh, that's better. It's better than the first one. Okay. Oh, wrong colour. I wanted to come back in with that dark pink, the berry burst. So I love the trial and error of this kind of crafting. You never know what's going to happen next. So it's like a stormy sea, isn't it? Love it. Okay, now we're going to have a bit more fun, because life is just a total experiment. I've lost my spritzer. So let me close those up, and I'm going to spritz over the top. And they will all mash together a bit more. And hopefully everything will bleed, so you'll see this is starting to streak out. And I'm going to wash the whole lot with my aqua painter. I'm sure I'm not creating any brand new technique. I'm sure that this has been done over and over again. But I love watching some of the watercolour tutorials that are out there, and then I just play, because that's what crafting is all about. It's just playing. So I'm going to blot off a little bit on there. How pretty is that? Just lovely. Okay, so I'm going to close that up. I need to dry this down. Obviously I'm filming it. I don't really do the whole pause thing very well, so I'm going to use my heat gun. That's the... just going to do that because I want to do another little spritz technique. So hopefully you'll see that the card will flatten down. As it dries, it will flatten again. So it's flattening onto my grid paper now. And turning up the other way. But that's okay, because the final thing I'm going to do now, and I've seen this loads of times over, get some water into your hand and you just drip drops. And you leave them there, you don't touch them, so you leave them for, I don't know, a couple of minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 seconds, however long you want, but that's going to eat into and bleed up that colour. So I'm just going to put that off to one side, because what I've got here is my piece of cardstock, and I'm not going to put the flowers on that I did before. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to cut it down to exactly the same size as that bit of cardstock, which is, as I said before, it's 1/2 centimetre shorter and narrower than the main piece of card. So I'm going to take it just a smidge less. And then I'm going to stick that to that and then that onto this card. So I need another piece of tissue to see how these are doing. Are they picking up colour? Yes. So I don't know how well you're going to see this. I wonder if I can zoom in for you. So let me find a dark water droplet. Okay, so I've got one up here. If I put in the piece of my tissue and lift that up and away, it's left this sort of water droplet, and actually the simplest way is to go like that, and it just lifts it all up. You see my little splats now? All my little splats there. How pretty is that? How cool. Right, let's go zoom back out so I can finish off this card for you. So, oh look, I've got a water droplet on there. Right, fast fuse, you need a strong adhesive for this. So that is going to go over the top of this one. And that is now going to come and sit on the front here. So fast fuse is so sticky. It's well and truly stuck itself to me. And that, I think, is a great looking card. Life is a beautiful thing. And that one with the extra detail there, just breathe. I love it. I like it with the fresh fig as well. Fresh fig and berry burst on those ones, 2 different colours. What do you think? Hope you like them. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.